Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of the Aptas. The Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvas, Siddhas, millions of them are authority of Hinduism. The Vedic Rishi and scientist who have time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Bhagavan's very own Leelas to showcase how a human can have a cognitive shift and experience the superconscious breakthrough, Paramashiva as their reality. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of devotee, disciple, followers all around the world manifesting the powers of Paramashiva, initiated by Bhagavan himself. He is very clear. I am going to be in the Kailash courtyard for each one of you, and the presence can be felt, and I am going to manifest through you as the superconscious breakthrough in each one of them. And Bhagavan's blessings and initiation makes us manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state, not just the thoughtless space which people are running around to experience a glimpse of it. Here we are just sitting with a milk and experiencing joy with seeing Paramashiva, entangling with him and melting in him, and experiencing not just the thoughtless space but also the Shakti to manifest all the auspiciousness and abundance as our own reality. Just like that. That beautiful experience scientifically now has clearly shown us that it is possible and doable for each one of us. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana are from Vijnana, Bhairava, Tantra. Vijnana, consciousness. Bhairava, one who experiences the consciousness beyond the mind. And Tantra is the method, how we can experience beyond the consciousness as the steps that we can experience the ultimate reality, Paramashiva as ourself. This is for the power of levitation. The
Asane shayane stitva niradharam vibhavayan swadeham manaksikshine shanadakshina sayo bhavet. Asane shayane stitva niradharam vibhavayan Swadeham manasikshine shanadakshina shayo bhavet.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says, being situated on a comfortable seat or on a bed, firmly cognize that your own body is without any support or base from anywhere. It is resting on nothing. By holding this cognition, when the mind becomes worn away, thoughtlessness arise, then in the instance one becomes weightless and experience the space beyond the mind, the space of Paramashiva. The mind, Bhagavan says, how it is driven as a matrix, and we are constantly believing it, that it can give us, take care of us, give us knowledge, make us achieve, get something out of it, get satisfaction, which is all like castle in your dream. How much ever you buy and how much ever you spend, whatever money you give, you cannot build a castle in your dream because it does not exist. Same way, how much ever you try to achieve in the outer world, how much ever you try to attest yourself in the outer world does not exist. So it makes no reality for us to get into the matrix more and more, which constantly Bhagavan says we are deluded into that. The Paramashiva space, which is the very truth that we are breathing, we are existing. That is why the blood becomes the food becomes the blood, the vitamins are taken to the different part of the body, and such complex system is constantly happening in us, not in the dead body, because we are alive, and that is the consciousness. And we know that is consciousness, and we know that it is such an intelligent system which is making the whole body function irrespective of what state we are in, whether deep sleep or we are awake or in coma, it still functions the same. Now Bhagavan beautifully says, when you believe that, you are going to be more into the suffering and disease and death again and again with such a painful space. And again, we don't know whether we are going to be a cockroach or we are going to be a buffalo or we are going to be in a human body, and where we are going to be in such a trauma that we have to go through for each of the karmas and the patterns that we carry. Instead, we are here right now at the right place in the right time doing the right thing of manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. We can experience the ultimate when we give up that little idea that we have, that we are the mind and we are just the body. Bhagavan says, you are much greater. Even as Greg Brandon puts it, each of the electricity that happens in our body, the trillions of energy that is generated every minute, what is happening to it if we are not using it? The whole, they call it subconscious mind, the consciousness which is there, it is much more than the nuclear force that is there. How it is happening in us when we start looking in at that very core. Bhagavan says all you need to do is surrender to Paramashiva, surrender to your Guru at his lotus feet, and you can raise yourself to the highest reality. And merging into oneness with him makes us understand the higher science. How does it happen? That Bhagavan gives us the simple initiation so we can experience that. Bhagavan says, even if there is a dark cave for millions of years, one light lamp is enough. Bhagavan is the lighting lamp in our millions of birth and death we are struggling and suffering to raise us to the higher consciousness. And he is giving us the liberation, the ultimate space of oneness, the conscious sovereignty as the initiation. Whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard can experience that, even if they are completely new and they are completely surrendering to Bhagavan, they can experience the ultimate. Let's go to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas, beautifully Yogananda, great avatar, who have beautifully said in the autobiography of Yogi, chapter 30, page 339. He has said how clearly his body became lighter and lighter when he just merged into the oneness and became like literally the photon itself and started floating and started experiencing no weight, the presence of us. More and more, the presence makes us lighter. That is why the dead body completely floats, how it is completely, there is no weight in it. What is there? The difference is the thoughts which are heavy, which is a matter. Again and again, the thoughts bring us down. We are scared, we are having jealousy, greed, cunningness, and all the miseries, powerless states that we experience. Getting rid of that is simply the ultimate. Bhagavan says, how you get rid of your all the waste in your body, you feel so relieved, especially after a constipation of a week. Same way Bhagavan says, if you're carrying all these for years and years and years, and if to get rid of it, you will simply feel like a feather and you will start floating. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was, there was a photographer taking a photo of him. He was going into the samadhi and his head started falling down. So the photographer went and put a few fingers to lift his chin up, and he writes that it was like a feather. The body started lifting and he got startled and moved away. The very space we are is like lighter than the feather, where we can just be moved even at the fingertip. That is the weight of our body if we are in the presence. That is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa wanted to tell the world. We are the consciousness, and each one of us can experience that. When he touched Vivekananda ji, he also experienced the greatest science. Just for 3 days, he was in such a oneness space. And he could see that whatever he ate and his hand and his body, everything merged into that subtler space. All we need to do is get into the subtler and subtler. The body is not real. The mind is not real. It is also existing for our convenience. But that is not us. It's like a car. Car, we cannot live in that. We can use it when we want. Bhagavan beautifully says, in a car which has no brakes and no clutch and you're trying to drive, and only if it crash land, then you wake up and say, what's wrong with it? Wake up right now and start experiencing the oneness, to experience beyond. You don't have to wake up in root shock and experience the beyond. Bhagavan beautifully explains how the idea of how, even at a far distance, how the man experienced the oneness, and he started coming to Bhagavan to explain how his Shivalinga is being treated. Bhagavan beautifully explains.
During my wandering, I was resting in the noon time under a tree putting my head on a small stone, which had turmeric, all that little puja was done on that, but I did not expect it is worshipped by somebody as God. I thought maybe in village every stone, every tree is worshipped. In India, that's why when British put the milestones, first it was all painted in yellow. Suddenly they saw in 1 week all milestones have a fully dust, decked with flowers, and people have started worshipping and everything has become temple. So they have to change the color. Now British had a really tough time stopping the villagers worshipping the milestones, and it is perfectly shaped like a Shivalinga. That is why I just bow down to this civilization. How many thousands of mistakes this civilization may have, how much backward it may be, but just worshipping everything, whether it is a stone or a tree, the ability to worship everything. It's not a joke, understand? The ability to bow down to everything, the ability to surrender to everything, the ability to trust everything. One of the greatest gifts from the Ganges civilization to the whole cosmos is the ability to surrender, the ability to worship, the ability to trust, ability to dissolve. It's the greatest gift from the Ganges civilization. It is not a joke. When you feel an individuality, the ability to just relax, trust, ability to trust more than your boundary. There are many peculiar diseases only the ego-based civilizations suffer. One is osteoporosis. They don't trust their own bone structure. Many of the diseases the ego-based civilizations suffer does not even exist, because these guys just knows how to bow down to anything. Go to village, whether it is a small kids or an officer going to an office or anybody on the road, see every street will have 20 temples, small or big. They will bow down in front of every temple and go. And they will bow down in front of every temple very sincerely. Even in my school days, if school starts at 8:30, I'll start from my house by 6:30. And the school is only maybe 2 kilometers, not more than that. Because I'll have to bow down in every temple, every deity. On the way, at least 25 temples are there. So I need 5 minutes in every temple. But I'll always be late for the class, if at all I reach the class. So I had an agreement with my maths teacher. I'll make one more round for you, you give attendance for me. Usually maths will be the first class. Usually because the kids will be more aware at that first session, maths will be the first session. And I keep my promise and he keeps his promise. Usually in Indian village schools, they don't take attendance for every period. Morning they mark the attendance, then that's all, the whole day. So majority of the days, I'll be running, going around the temple for him and he will be giving attendance for me. I put my head on this stone. I should not say stone. Deity for somebody. Once it is deity for somebody, it should be deity for everybody. But foolish, unfortunate civilizations do the other way. Once if somebody is accused for the whole world. That should not be the case. If he is deity for somebody, deity for everybody. And if he is accused for somebody, he is accused only for that person. And we do completely opposite. So I put my head by mistake, without knowing, the deity on deity. Usually when there is a turmeric powder smeared, snakes will not come there. That is why in the snake holes, before worshipping they will put the turmeric powder. Snakes won't come. So I thought maybe that is an area where the snakes are too much, so somebody, before resting, they have put turmeric powder. They rested. So I put my head. Maybe in 1 hour, some villager from 2-3 kilometers apart, away, he was running towards me shouting, When he came near me, he just said, because you are a sadhu, I am leaving you. Otherwise I would have broken your head. How dare you put your head on my Shiva? So he had a telepathy connection with the deity. He was sleeping in the house. Noon usually villages rest. See, morning they work before the sunrise, like around 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock they work in their field. Then once it becomes very hot, especially Madhya Pradesh, too hot, they rest in the noon time. Evening again they come back and work in the field till maybe around 4 o'clock. They'll start until 7 o'clock, till it becomes completely dark they will work. So this guy was sleeping in his house and he ran and came. And he said, I saw in my dream somebody is disrespecting my deity, my Shiva. So anyhow, you are a sadhu, I am leaving you. Don't do this anymore. I really felt bad that I abused somebody's deity. So I apologized to him, but I was so happy that somebody could have a telepathy connection just with a stone. When you worship as a deity, he is so strong with his feeling connection, he was able to just connect with the deity, just with the trust. So I apologized, then I moved.
Beautifully, Bhagwan expressed. Now we have the devotee in the Shakshi Pramana to express how he experienced the levitation.
My name is Sunil Kumar Allam. I am from San Jose, California. I am a design engineer in a semiconductor company. I thought earlier that Kundalini awakening and Nirahara Samyama are an extraordinary experiences. Only years of spiritual practices are needed to get to that stage. And during the inner awakening, for the first time, during the Kundalini meditation, I find a shaking of my body and started lifting up. And I was jumping up and down, and I was amazed by it. And it is a full state of joy, and I felt body cool down a lot, and it's a weightlessness I felt, and I was in the state whole night that day. And previously I was shy to the dances, dance movements and all, and this time I was, whole of my body, each part of my body was shaking involuntarily, and I was amazed by that.
All this greatest possibility that we can experience when we are in the oneness with Paramashiva. Now let's experience the power of levitation, the gift from Bhagavan for each one of us, the ultimate science. If you can sit on a nice, comfortable bed where you won't hurt your bottom, where it is cushion is there, enough cushion when your body goes up, sit possible in Padmasana like Bhagavan how he's sitting, and Samana Mudra. Samana Mudra is clasping your hands completely and your thumb on the top. That is Samana Mudra. You can hold your fingers in Samana Mudra. If you cannot sit in Padmasana on the ground, at least try Sukhasana or Araparadmasana. If not possible, you can sit in the chair. That's perfectly fine. Sit, and if you have the Jnananjan in the Kantamala, you can apply in your third eye and your temples. And if you don't have, you can at least have the Aushadha, which is the Basma and the Kumkum. That will be great. Or you have only turmeric, you can apply the turmeric. Anything close by temples, they apply any of the things. You keep it with you and apply every day in the night. Bhagavan says simply it will detox your third eye, the command center. Now, if you have camera, please get your cameras ready. These are the extraordinary moments. And then simply you'll start manifesting the powers. When Bhagavan initiated all the ashramites into this levitation, we didn't understand. And some of us could not experience the levitation, the body movement at all. And then slowly and slowly the body got detoxed and healing by all the samyamas that Bhagavan is giving. How heating the haritaki, neem juice, nirahara samyamas, pachapatni vradam, and doing the yoga. All this does nothing but working on the parasites in the body, cleansing your body. And more you do all these very simple things. compared to the tapas, the Ravana did like 10,000 years of tapas. We are just doing simple remedies to detox our parasites, which are creating so much of problems. When the detox happens, the body becomes so light and so beautiful. More and more you start becoming younger because of the toxin is removed from your system, and your body functions so very good. And beautifully you can now sit with a head, neck and spine in a straight line. Visualize Paramashiva, all the powerful cognition Bhagavan gave on how the society is constantly deluding us and putting us into one after another softwares where we get more and we are not able to come out of it. But surrender everything to Bhagavan's lotus feet and tell very clearly, when I can do it every night in the deep sleep, I can experience that right now also. Bhagavan says, 21 days, if you visualize before sleeping that your body, your bed, is burnt away and you go to sleep, and 21 days you will be enlightened. We can experience that great space by ourselves, or get in the root shock and wake up to the reality, or one day die and then we wake up and say, oh my God, this is what it is. I should have realized when I was in the body to experience the beyond. In such a beautiful space, only in the physical body, only in the human body on planet Earth, and with the initiation of the Master, we can get past this birth and death cycle. Out of 84 millions of species and out of 8 billion people, we are the chosen one, luckiest people on planet Earth, much more than the gold medalist. We are here at the feet of Bhagavan in such a beautiful oneness space where Bhagavan himself is there in the Kailash courtyard for us to experience the greater science. So don't have any doubt that will you levitate, or is it for you, or it's not for you. All that, just surrender, unclutch from that. Hold the beautiful space, Brahmanya Bahuputratam. I am the favorite inheritance of the cosmos. I am Paramashiva. Hold only that beautiful space of oneness and start chanting Mahavakya. The Mahavakya lets us merge into the oneness with the quantum space. Bhagavan is in the Samadhi, in quantum, and that is what we are entangling with. And we will also experience that by chanting the Mahavakya and surrendering every thought, unclutching from that thoughts and surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Again and again and again, do not allow the mind. Mind does not exist. In deep sleep, it does not. Before birth, it does not. After death, it does not. So it does not exist. Let's not believe that. Bhagavan exists, and before sleep, after sleep, during death, everywhere the consciousness is available. Just be in that beautiful space of oneness and hold that only. That is the perfect truth for each one of us, to hold that I am consciousness. I am the subtlest things. I am going to be the witness of whatever is happening in me as a witness. Hold that beautiful space of conscious sovereignty that Bhagavan has initiated us into. And chant the Mahavakya with the deep listening. The listening makes us merge into the oneness. Listening is God, Bhagavan says. And witnessing that space is what Paramashiva is making us manifest auspiciousness and abundance in our life. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya deeply with a deep joy and the oneness experience, just merging into the Paramashiva space.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amritapoor, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amritapoor, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Beautiful. If you have experience, you can share your experience in the chat. If you still feel like a body very heavy, that is also fine. If you're feeling tingling in the body or vibration in the body, or some of the bodies feel the Ashtama Siddhis express in different ways. It can express as a heaviness in the body, not just you have to feel light, but if you're feeling extraordinarily heavy and you are levitating, Bhagavan says. So beautiful, all this completely detox and bring us to the space. How Ayurveda takes a few months to start functioning, and after that it becomes the extraordinary medicine for your body because it is normal food intake most of the times. Same way, the Western medicine might work immediately, but that is not the true stuff. That is what Bhagavan says. The delusion might look immediate result. The mind might give you the immediate result, but that is not the true thing. How you can experience the Paramashiva if you look in and start living with Paramashiva for every action, every word and every thought, merging into oneness again and again, that this is body is not me, this whatever we are experiencing with the mind is not me, which is just giving data points. It's like going and scanning yourself, that's all. But the real essence, how you function, is Paramashiva who's manifesting in you, Paramashiva who's the reality in you. Each one of us is sun's rays, and Bhagavan beautifully says each one has the equal power of the sun, but the sun's rays, that sun is the most important part. The whole ocean, the waves are part of the ocean, but waves don't have independent intelligence. It is part of the ocean, it becomes the wave. Same way, how we merge into Paramashiva, we become the Paramashiva, the ultimate oneness, the ultimate energy, the ultimate consciousness, intelligence, auspiciousness, abundance, everything. But till we have this identity that what I hold is going to stop us from experiencing that. Surrender that to Bhagavan's lotus feet. That is the weight that we are carrying. Like how beautifully Bhagavan says, the Zen story where the Zen master carries the lady across the river for a few seconds and then leaves her and goes to the ashram. And then the disciple at the night asks, why did you carry the lady? And the master asked him back, why are you carrying her so long? I carried few seconds, you carrying few hours, which is the more carrying that lady. Same way, we are unconsciously holding our thoughts as our priority and carrying it all our life, which leads only to confusion and mess and chaos. Surrender all that, unclutch from every thought that you understand the outer world. Anything that we know as us, even our body says, surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Very clearly, when we surrender again and again, melting into the oneness, earning for the oneness, earning for Paramashiva, and merging into Paramashiva, we will experience Paramashiva as reality and bring all auspiciousness and abundance. It has happened for millions and it will happen for each one of us when we start having the will persistence to only manifest Paramashiva as our reality. Now we'll have one more quick cycle. You can sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line to experience the power of levitation. Let's chant the Mahavakya deeply and merge into the oneness space and start experiencing the power of levitation. Let's start chanting Mahavakya.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Such a beautiful space. Please open your eyes. And whatever you have experienced, the powerful cognition from the satsangs and pre-satsangs and the power manifestation, photos, videos, or anything you would like to say, please share in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. Bhagwan is giving us enriching and causing again and again for us to establish, mold ourselves to Paramashiva. Paramashiva is the who we exist, and what exists in the world is also Paramashiva. When you boldly share your space with everybody in the outer world, enrich and cause others, whether they believe it or not, whether they accept it or not, they are Paramashiva because they are breathing. The very breathing makes a guarantee that each one is manifesting and each one is Paramashiva. Without Paramashiva, they are called dead bodies. And if the dead body can do all the senses the dead body has, even the nail grows even after that, depends on the proteins in the body. The scientific clearly says how it can start generating even after the death. But there is something more than that that we experience through the senses. And more than that, we can explain that Paramashiva is the reality that we can experience constantly. Surrender to Him again and again. Surrender all this powerful cognition and power manifestation to Bhagwan's lotus feet, thanking Him deeply. And writing a thank you each day is not a big deal to Bhagwan, who is showering so much on us. And sharing with your friends and families again and again, even that gratitude will break their heart and start saying, oh my God, you are really Paramashiva, how much gratitude and how much devotion you have for your Guru. Break them only by your integrity and dedication and surrender to Bhagwan's lotus feet. And if you see a dollar sign, you can contribute to Bhagwan. Again and again, so many people have contributed. That's such a beautiful space. Once you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. Again and again, when we offer a unit of our currency, we are teaching our mind that consciousness is the ultimate kavacha for each one of us. Protection from all that suffering that we have, the dharma that we missed. Again and again, we can restore it by offering to Bhagwan's lotus feet, to Kailasha. Whatever you want to contribute, you can contribute in the YouTube, in the dollar sign, and start enriching and causing to the world through the tinyurl.com/power manifestation. You can go to the page, Kailash Kotiyar Manifesting Power page, see how many millions have been posting all their beautiful power manifestation sessions. And you can also be one of them experiencing that greater science. Thanking each and every one of you who are here, hundreds of you manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. You're the luckiest one. Bhagavan says, do Anga Pradakshina for yourself. Go around yourself and thank yourself for being here to experience Paramashiva in the reality. So with that beautiful space, thanking Bhagavan in the deep gratitude and earning space that I am Paramashiva, let's end this session with a Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much.